Hola, Cari, bienvenida.
Gracias por la invitación.
Súper contenta de tenerte aquí en Hablamos Spanglish. Estoy muy emocionada porque desde hace mucho tiempo que ya, bueno, nos conocemos,
Sí,
hemos tenido una bonita amistad y bueno, conozco un poco de tu historia y compartirla con nuestra audiencia. Sé que va a ser muy, muy inspirador.
gracias. Y
Ajá.
lo más bonito es que siento que tú me has visto crecer, yo te he visto
Ujú.
crecer y he visto cómo has llegado hasta este lanzamiento de este podcast, así que felicidades.
Sí, no, eso ha sido muy bonito. Me acuerdo cuando nos conocimos y de verdad cómo después la vida nos
Nos
llevó
sigue
juntas,
uniendo.
nos sigue uniendo. Así que, pero bueno, hoy va a ser acerca de ti, acerca de Karina y de su historia, de cómo llegó a los Estados Unidos. Tell me a little bit about your journey.
Perfect. So I first moved here in 2015. I moved here with my sisters initially.
Okay.
And the reason why we moved here is because I'm originally from Venezuela. And we all know that, especially during those years, 2013, 15, the country was going through very tough years. And then something in my family happened. They broke into my house. My mom
Mm,
was inside of the house when the
this
basically like the
happened.
people broke into the house.
Okay.
So that was pretty scary. My parents thought that by being in the house we were safe, and then when that happened they realized that not even in the house they could keep us safe.
Mm,
And it really got to a point. I graduated back home
okay.
in Venezuela. I'm an accountant over there, and I started to work, but it got to a point where literally like I was 22, 23, and my dad was driving me from the house to
Mm,
my work and
okay.
then from work to the house. We couldn't dream big because
Mhm.
everything was very limited. And it got to a point where you had to make a decision like, do I stay here because this is safe?
Mhm.
Quotation
Yeah.
marks. Or do we try to do something different? So I think at the beginning, especially like my dad thought that
Yeah.
that was going to be something like, okay, yeah, try to do it, but that we were not going to do it. But I would have to say like my younger sister, especially, she was very resilient. And we used to come here to the US just to visit and spend summers. But then one summer we said, you know what, let's tour UCF.
Okay.
We did that, and then long story short, we decided to move here. When I moved here, I went directly to UCF to
Okay.
pursue another degree. And then that's basically how I graduated with a degree in marketing, public relations, and communications from
Mhm.
UCF.
Go Knights.
Yes. And then from there, I started like my work and started like developing as a professional here in the US, which to me was the dream that I always wanted to achieve. So
Wow.
that was a long
Yeah.
answer.
No, no
Sorry.
worries. This is all about you. So, I completely understand, what you went through. I came here earlier, from Venezuela
Yes.
at a very young age, so I didn't go through, all those difficult times personally, but my family did. So I know how hard it was, and many people come here looking for opportunity or escaping, a hard time,
Yeah, a
and
hardship at
a
home.
hardship at home. Yeah. So how did you adapt to the new culture? Did you have any cultural shocks when you came
Yeah.
here?
So to me, there were no like pretty big cultural shocks,
Okay.
and I think that's in part because of my background.
Mm-hmm.
My family, my dad is Lebanese, my mom
Okay.
is Venezuelan,
Okay.
so I always grew up kind of like blending all of the cultures.
Mm-hmm.
So when it was interesting because when I was in Venezuela, I was called that I was Árabe. Also,
Okay.
I was Arab.
Sí.
When I went to visit in summers like to Lebanon, then I was
De
Venezuelan.
Venezuela.
So I was never kind of like 100% from one place, and that was fine by me.
Yeah.
I really love being exposed to so many cultures, and I really have to thank that to my parents because I feel like that makes it even like that it brings you a richness in your lives that I don't know, it gives you, I don't want to say an advantage, but it does open your eyes to many things.
Yeah, definitely.
So one of the things that we did is that we were, I mean, in Latin America, it's a reality that we're all exposed to American culture, like from the TV shows
Mm-hmm.
that we watch. some of us,
Music. Yeah.
everything.
Hmm.
There's a huge influence. And then if you also have the opportunity to travel,
Yeah.
then you kind of like know what to expect.
Okay.
So I would say like the biggest shock wasn't culturally necessarily, but it was most kind of like leaving family behind.
Mm.
That was the biggest shock. That when we moved here, we were like literally like the three of us.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we didn't know anyone. We needed to start from the, like the first thing that I wanted to do is like meet people. I need to meet people because just like driving from
Like
my
create a
house,
community.
yeah,
Yeah.
driving 50 minutes from the house to UCF and then driving back, it was kind of like, yes, but I need more. And to be honest, when I started UCF, I don't want to say old, but I was older than everyone
Mm-hmm.
else. So it
Mm-hmm.
was hard for me to develop those connections. But I feel like God always sends like small, like angels
Yeah.
your way.
Mm-hmm.
And those angels in my life have been connectors to people that I've been able to build a community with. So it wasn't the shock for the culture, it was more the shock of being by ourselves and having to build that community from the ground up.
Yeah. And Kari, did you know English before you came here?
Yes, yes. So I did know English, as you know, like back home. It's kind of like mandatory that you
Mm-hmm.
learn English at school. And then I also had some um individual like classes. I took lessons
Okay.
of English lessons. So yes, I did speak English when I moved here.
Okay, that's
Yes.
great because if you came just straight to college, yeah,
Yeah.
I bet that part will have been difficult if not.
And I cannot imagine like not having any knowledge, but
Yeah.
yes, it was a little difficult because I did have to take my speech classes. So one thing is to come here in a family vacation and speak English, but other it's kind of like standing in front of a room with native speakers and having to talk for 30 minutes. So
Yeah.
yes, it was challenging, but I did have that kind of like ground base that made me feel comfortable doing so.
Kari, and you said you went to school and then you graduated.
Yes.
So, how was your first job experience here?
Okay. So while I was at UCF again, my main goal was meeting people. I came here with a student visa.
Okay.
So it was very important for me to really have the goal of finding a job after graduating. So the first thing that I did was trying to find an internship.
Okay.
So UCF has these job fairs. Well, not job fairs, but internship fairs.
Mhm.
I became a member of the committee that planned those fairs.
Okay.
And then I attended the first. They basically teach you how to go and talk to someone you have never spoken with. So that was really kind of like taking me out of my comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that one of the assignments in one of the classes was you need to go to a networking event and come back with 3 business cards of someone that
Uh-huh.
you don't know.
Yes.
So to me, it was kind of like arriving to somewhere and then just like, hi, my name is Karina. Can I have your
Oh my
business card?
gosh,
So that
yes.
was, yeah. And looking back at it now, I'm like, I'm grateful that they
Yeah.
did that. That's how I met one of the people that I interned with.
Mm-hmm.
And this lady was awesome. She gave me a lot of opportunities. Through her, I met another lady. So I ended up collaborating in big projects, such as they were the one bringing Disney on Ice to Amway
Okay.
Center, opening restaurants in the city. So it did give me a sense of belonging,
Mm-hmm.
of knowing that, yes, I'm starting and I'm kind of like making a difference because I'm being part of these events that are so important for the Orlando community.
Yeah,
So
of
that's
course.
how basically it started. But then internships were a great experience, great networking. They kept me busy. But when I always had in the back of my mind, I need to find a job. I
Okay.
really need to find a job. And this is an advice that I give to everyone that
Yeah.
I speak with. Try to find trying to find a mentor.
Mm.
Be open about what your goals are. Be I don't want to say smart, but be on the lookout for people that you think are gonna take the time to listen to you,
Yeah.
to your
And
needs.
promote you. Yeah.
Yeah,
You need a promoter in the community, of course.
and
Champion you. Mm-hmm.
give you and believe in you, because at the end of
Mm-hmm.
the day, they don't know much about you besides what you can show up and do, and that's kind of like what they take about you and your personality. So to me, this was one of the professors at UCF. I
Okay.
remember one day arriving to her office and saying, this is my situation. This is what I need. I'm very concerned. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to find a job. I need to find a job. So she said, you know what, like God will send so an opportunity for you. Thank you for sharing this with me. Keep doing what you're doing. Always, I was always trying to find ways to improve because I
Mm-hmm.
knew I had a small disadvantage of working on the communications field. When your native language is not English,
Yeah.
you are
Yeah.
in a little bit of
Mm-hmm.
disadvantage. So you need to go the extra mile to kind of like compensate
But
for that.
the good thing also is that you seek for help. Sometimes
Yes.
we are, I don't know, afraid, or we don't like to ask for help, and it is important, you
And
know.
I feel a lot of people don't think people are willing to help.
That's true also.
And 9 out of 10 people, I
Yes.
would say,
Yeah. No.
they are willing to help and they love helping. I just feel like you need to be just brave, to be honest, and to ask for that help.
Yeah.
So,
And you mentioned something that, we were a little bit of disadvantage of, being on the communication field, because we have an accent, right? And that's why I did PR, advertising and PR, just like you at UCF, but I wanted to be a journalist, but I didn't do it because of that. So,
and funny story, what
mm-hmm,
I thought it was a disadvantage or maybe something that I knew I needed a little extra work on,
mm-hmm,
it became my biggest advantage at work.
exactly.
So it's a matter of like navigating and understanding that maybe this skill set is not right for this opportunity, but
Mm-hmm.
there's no way to think, there's no reason to think that you're never gonna need that or forget about that or negar who you truly are, because
Exactly.
at the end of the day, other opportunity might arise where that skill set, it's the time for that one to shine.
Yes.
And that's what happened to me.
Yeah, no, we have similar stories, so
Yes.
I can definitely relate to that. Did you felt at a point where having that accent, make you feel, uh, I don't know, less than others, or did you embrace it?
I've always embraced it.
Uh,
And
That's
I think
good.
it's because of, again, like going back to that background
Yeah.
and never maybe like fitting the, not the form, but yeah, fitting, I don't know how you would say it, but the standard or the normal.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, like growing up, you would hear like someone would call you this or that, and you just embrace it. Like
Yeah.
you are who you are. And I think that because of the environment where I grew in, that I never took never like anything very seriously. It was always like very lighthearted.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you are gonna tell me like, oh, no, you're from here, you're from there, or
Yeah.
whatever, it's fine. I think when I came here, I never took anything personal,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe I've been lucky
Yeah.
of finding people who have never made me feel bad about it. If anything, they have told me, like that makes your personality shine. I have people telling me like that gives you credibility because you're being authentic.
Yes.
So maybe I've been lucky. I'm not gonna say like I have never had instances in which I have encountered people
Mm-hmm.
who have done the opposite.
Yeah.
But again,
Yeah.
with I think like
You get
because of
9 out of 10.
yeah, the
You
nine out
can.
of ten, yes, eight
Yeah.
out of ten.
And sometimes it's in our mind, it's everything
Yeah, and if
inside us.
and sometimes it's true. Like not everyone has a good heart,
Hmm.
and we're all fighting our battles. So maybe that's the way of them, like going through something. But I feel that it's important that you never take anything personal, or you don't feel that you don't allow people to make you feel bad for who you are.
Yeah.
I think that's important.
Yeah.
And if that happens, you need to be able to stand for yourself and do something about it, because I have done it in
Yeah.
those instances.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I feel it's because of like the background. You made me
Yeah,
like
I
a
think
tough
so.
person.
That's good because, when I live in Europe and I was able to be surrounded by so many different cultures, right? And people over there speak not only two languages, but three,
Hmm.
four, and they're not afraid of having an accent. They just speak, they're fluent in four different languages.
Yeah.
You have more opportunities. So that's incredible. And you mentioned something that, how you turn uh, what what most people might think is a weakness into your, a possibility, right?
Hmm.
So that's how you found, your job, the first job.
Well, not because of that.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, again, I was like straight out of college. I had this professor telling me, "This is the opportunity that I have for you.
Okay.
Apply, see what happens." I remember going into that job interview.
Uh-huh.
My sisters were with me. I was like picking my outfit and everything. They drove me to the interview. I went upstairs. I was shaking,
Oh.
and I do have to say that again. I feel like it's God sending in you people that it's gonna put a vote of trust for you,
Mm-hmm.
because at the end you're straight out of college. They know that you're an international student. Like they know that you have been in the country, not in the country, but in the community for
Yeah,
like the type
yeah.
of job that I
Mm-hmm.
was doing. Relationship building, community building was important. So I feel like that to me, yes, I'm not gonna, yes, I came prepared, I went to school and all of that, but I do always feel like that God sends the right people your way, and they trusted me. And from that interview, I got the job.
Oh,
I
wow.
got the job
That's amazing.
at one of the biggest healthcare systems
Yeah.
here in Central Florida, Advent Health. It was back then
Mm-hmm.
Florida
For the whole.
Hospital, and I started my main job didn't have anything to do with Hispanic
Okay.
marketing at all or the Hispanic community, but I did kind of like showcase my other skill sets.
Mm-hmm.
I This background allowed me to, like I'm bilingual. Well, I also speak French. I speak Arab. I have this multicultural background
Mm-hmm.
that, like whenever there's a need, I'm here to help. And it was like that. I was given like opportunities to start like developing relationships. And thank God I was able to, like feeling the shoes or like the expectations that they had.
Awesome.
And that's when I said my skill sets that maybe at the beginning were not exactly that they were requiring someone who was bilingual, but then in the long run, they came out handy.
Yeah, and you believe in yourself, and you applied to the job. You weren't there, so
Well, yes and no, because yes, you have to show up,
yeah.
but I'm not gonna say I'm kind of like always, oh yes, I'm gonna get the job, or
Mm-hmm.
yes, I'm 100% sure, oh, this is easy. No.
No.
Like if you know me, you know that I
Yeah.
overthink a lot of things, and I don't know, maybe like I over prepare myself, but I sometimes second guess myself,
Mm.
because there's always, especially when you're applying for a job that other people are applying to, and you're like, what are they gonna see in me
Exactly.
that it's different to everyone else applying for this job? And
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was someone already working in the organization. Like I'm glad that by that point I was very naive on that sense of the way
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
everything works. But yes, now right now I look back and I say like, wow, I really appreciate the opportunity they gave me, because I don't know who else was applying for it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
And now you're a pioneer at your job doing Hispanic marketing, and I applaud you for that, for the
thank
whole
you,
initiative that you guys are doing. It
thank
is
you,
incredible.
thank you.
And but also you are an entrepreneur.
Yes,
So you have Cocoa,
yes,
right?
Coco Lifestyle.
Cocoa Lifestyle, and but you have two, right?
See,
So
so
tell us a
under
little bit.
so Coco Lifestyle, it's basically look at it as an umbrella, and then under that we have Coco Jewelry.
Mhm.
I'm showcasing my jewelry today, wearing it right now. And yes, so this is kind of like what my sisters and my passion has been for the longest time. This dream started in Venezuela,
Okay.
and this was one of the projects that we were trying to work on. And for every idea that you had, two reasons why not to do it came up.
Hmm.
So it got to a point that it was very frustrating, because it shouldn't be that hard. It shouldn't be hard for someone under 20s to try to dream big and achieve
Mm-hmm.
their goals if they were willing to put the work on. So to me, that was kind of like, why does it have to be this hard? But we went ahead and we started our dream. We knew that we wanted to create a jewelry collection.
Okay.
I do believe that jewelry pieces, when they are of good quality and when they have a meaning to you,
Mm-hmm.
it's something that you're gonna keep with you for
Forever.
generations to
Yeah.
pass.
Yes.
For instance, I recently got married.
Mm-hmm.
My mom's mom was no longer with us, but I wore the earrings that she wore on her wedding day.
Oh, wow.
So to me, that had a huge meaning, being able to carry something from a person that you loved and still feel like they're
Exactly.
with you.
Yeah.
So we started again. I'm losing track, but we
Yeah, no
started
worries.
back in Venezuela. But again, we had to put that dream on pause, because we had to move here to the
Mm.
US. And when we moved here, our priorities changed. We were not in a position to say, oh, you know what, I want to be an entrepreneur
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to launch this. We needed to find security. I needed to go to school. I needed to find a job. I needed to find my way to be
Yeah.
here in the
Mm-hmm.
country. So fast forward in the story, now this year I'm in a much different situation. We are already situated, and I feel it's important that if you have a dream, do not hesitate to fight for it, even though it's taking a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel especially that's important nowadays when we are on our phones constantly and we don't know what the realities of other people are. And then when you see that they are achieving so much
Mm-hmm.
and you compare yourself,
Mm-hmm.
like I recently went to a vacation and I was on social media and I felt guilty because I'm like,
I know.
I don't have my computer with me. I'm not working. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. And it's very easy to feel bad. And when you feel bad, you say, you know what? I'm not gonna do it. I'm not deserving or I'm not putting as much as effort as this other person. And I say it because it has happened to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes we feel that if we don't do it quickly and if we don't do it from point A to B, people are gonna judge us.
Yeah.
And they're
Yeah.
not gonna think that we're taking things seriously. And I feel that to me, being able to go back to that dream, launch it, and see that people love what we are bringing and that they believe in us and they give us about trust, to me that's enough to say, you know what, if it takes me how long it's gonna take me, I'm gonna do it because it makes me happy.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it makes
And,
me happy.
and I think sometimes we double think way too much when we're gonna start a project. For me to start Hablamos Spanglish, oh my, I have my microphone when I started at home, my microphone on una gaveta for a year, right? Because I wanted it to be perfect. So I'm like, no, you need to start and you need to do it, because if you don't start, then you're not gonna learn, and then while you learn, right, you're gonna make it better.
Yes.
So, and I'm very proud of you because I remember talking about this project a
Yeah.
long time ago, and I'm happy. Was really happy to see when you launch it,
Yeah.
the Urally, and I know you're gonna be super successful with that because, as you mentioned, Urally and for Hispanic women, I think is it's a treasure,
Yeah,
and
it
we
is.
keep it. I was, I just moved, so I was, my aunt was helping me, clean the Urally, and I found my mom's, also like unos aros
Uh-huh.
de unos zarcillos de quinceañera. Oh my God. So like, it is incredible, and it was, something that you treasure, and it's
And you
important.
treasure it and you know
Yeah.
that your daughter, if
Mm-hmm.
you have kids,
Yeah,
they're going to be able to have it too because you can
exactly.
keep it for them and it's a way to pass on into the generation.
Yeah.
So
Plus, they're beautiful. I
thank
seen the
you.
collection, so
Thank you
they're
so much.
amazing.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
then you have Coco Lifestyle.
Yes. So I love creating content
Mm-hmm.
online. I love sharing, and it started when we first moved here. I'm like, okay, let me share this. Well, it started back home, but when I moved here, we had to reinvent kind of like the content that we were sharing. And I felt that it was nice to just share like what we were doing, um, what you can do in Orlando, what's our day-to-day life like. So I share basically from fashion tips to recipes to things to do in Orlando. I love showcasing what I do with my family. I feel that that's important and it can inspire
Mm-hmm.
other
Mm-hmm.
families. So that's basically the content. And then yes, you have Coco Jewelry in all of that, which is kind of like the baby of Coco Lifestyle.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
no, and I love it. I love all the content that you and your sister create.
Thank you.
So I've been following you ladies for a long time now,
Thank you.
and I know you guys have a lot of potential, and you put a lot of love and heart into it.
Yeah.
So please go and follow them
Thank you. Yes.
on social media,
Follow
on
us.
Instagram. But Gary, now I'm gonna be asking you a couple of questions,
Hmm.
to get to know you a little bit better.
Perfect.
Okay, so just answer with the first thing that comes to mind.
Can,
So
can I just add one more
yes,
thing?
of
Because
course.
as a entrepreneur here in Orlando, I do want to say that the Hispanic community is growing, it's getting bigger, and Ana Caro and I, we know this firsthand.
Yeah.
We have a great support system. So if you
Mm-hmm.
have an idea, surround yourself with the right people, share your idea,
Mm-hmm.
and again, 9 out of 10 people will help you and will guide you. We have great resources in the
Yeah,
community
definitely.
organizations that are there to offer legal, accounting advice to help you set up and help you set you up for success. So
Mm-hmm.
don't feel that you have to do it by yourself, and don't feel that because I don't know, I'm not going to do it. Jump in and do it, because you're going to find a great support system in this community.
Yes, and among those organizations are Prospera
The
and
Hispanic
the
Chamber.
Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, which we Karina is an ambassador of the
Yes.
program. I'm a past ambassador. Those there are many resources out there for not only here in Central Florida where we are located, but in the U.S. I think if you are looking to start a business, you have that hormiguita entrepreneurship hormiguita
Yeah,
inside
and you
you,
don't know where
please.
to start. It's a
Yeah,
great place
yeah,
to get help, to get not only help but educated,
yes,
because they make sure that they don't only give you a hand or grab you by the hand, but they give you the resources
yeah,
and all of the things that you need to be able to understand everything that it will take to make your business successful.
yeah. And thank you for adding that advice.
Of
Yes.
course.
So the first question is going to be your favorite food. Tell me your favorite food.
My favorite, I love pasta.
Pasta.
My
Hmm.
husband is going to be happy about this answer. I love pasta, but
Do you make it? Do you
yeah,
make?
I
Yeah.
we
You like
make.
to cook, right?
Yeah, I love to cook, and
Okay.
Fridays are our pasta days.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's
Okay.
easy to make, super tasty. So Fridays are reserved for pasta.
Hmm.
But I also love, as you know, like I have a Lebanese and Venezuelan background.
Yes.
So my favorite dishes are those in which I can mix hummus y kafte and then sweet plantains
Oh,
on the side. I swear to
that's so
God,
fun.
Lebanese food is good, Venezuelan food is
Yes.
good. But when you blend the two together, it's amazing. So,
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
that sounds delicious. You have to invite me when you make
Yes.
that at home, okay?
Yes.
Okay, a favorite, well, or a spot that you would like to travel here in the
A
US.
spot,
Yeah,
um,
a city. Or,
Zion National Park.
mm-hmm.
I've been wanting to go there. I recently visited Vegas, and
Mm-hmm.
we just went to Red Road Canyon,
Yes,
which I know to me it was amazing, but people tell me like Zion has nothing to do with it. And I just want to visit it. I feel it's so different to all of the other landscapes that
mm-hmm.
we are used to,
Mm-hmm.
especially back home,
Mm-hmm.
that I'm really looking forward to that.
Of course.
Yes.
And what about your favorite music, type of music?
I'm very like I'm a
Latina?
blend, yeah,
A blend?
a
Okay.
blend of everything. Like if you see me at a party,
Yeah.
you're gonna see me, I don't know, sing out loud, Lebanese, Venezuelan, everything. Like even like country music, I'm a
Yeah.
fan of.
I would like to listen to your playlist.
Yes, you need to do that. Actually, I would say like the only one that I'm not a fan with, which is easier to answer, would be heavy metal.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, or hard rock,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
things like that. I'm kind of like more soft, happy,
Yeah, like a pop rock.
celebratory. Yes, type of
Kind of
music.
that. Okay, okay. What about your favorite sport?
I
Can be to
watching
play or watch
to watch soccer.
soccer.
I'm a
Yeah,
huge soccer
football.
fan.
Sí, sí, sí.
Yes, yes. But I'm not good at playing it. So to play
Yeah, yeah.
sports, I am good
I
at
live it.
playing. I can play tennis, ping pong. I'm very active. So we were three sisters, but with that love sports,
Okay.
we 100% had to learn how to play them, and we did. But
Oh, that's
yeah,
nice. That's nice. So we are getting to the end of the episode, but I just wanted to thank you for being here, being part of Hablamos Spanglish, and I know your story is going to inspire many, many others. And but before we end, I wanted to ask you, what is that wish that you have for our Hispanic community to achieve here in the U.S.?
I really want to showcase who we truly are. I feel that sometimes we want to fit in the expectations of what other people are expecting the Hispanic community to do.
Mm-hmm.
That sometimes we are not bringing our entire value, or maybe we're not bringing what we currently are, because I feel like we have also evolved so much. So that's my wish. My wish is to be able to being as authentic as we can be, steer away from maybe what is expected for
Mm-hmm.
us to do, and then bringing that different sazon or flavor,
Yeah.
but in a way that it's maybe maybe sazon is the wrong word because that's what they're
Yeah,
expecting. But
yeah,
we don't always have to be, the salsa, el merengue,
yeah,
the colorful. There's so
yeah,
much
yeah.
that we can bring into the table, but sometimes they don't ask us to bring that, so we bring the other things.
Yeah.
So being as authentic as we can truly be, that would be my advice.
I love it.
That's
I
my
love
wish.
it. I love it. Thank you so much,
Thank
Karina. It's been
you.
a
Thank you
pleasure.
for
I
having me.
appreciate
And I'm
it.
really proud that we are finally sitting in the yellow couch
Yes.
that represents Anacaro. And I wish you all the best.
Thank you. And thank you, everyone who has been listening. And keep it posted for next episodes to come.
Muchísimas gracias, mi gente. Thank you so much for joining us on this incredible journey of Hablamos Spanglish. It is a pleasure for me to explore the diverse stories and experiences within our vibrant Hispanic community. I hope that you have found inspiration, connection, and a deeper appreciation for our culture and heritage. Remember, our stories are what unite us and what make us stronger. Stay tuned for more captivating episodes in the future, and don't forget to follow us on social media and share your thoughts with us. Hasta pronto.